This is another episode of Church of Chug. My name's IPA Fan, and we are going to be reviewing Unsung. So to my left, Drunk Monkey.
What's up?
All right, that works. Beer Lover.
Beer Lover here. What's up?
J-Hump.
Craft Wetness here. I'm nice and wet today.
Bruja.
Whoa.
Dry.
Bruja.
Happy Bruja, what's going on?
Gordy.
Hey, what's up? Gordy drinks craft, and we are drinking Unsung Brewery from Anaheim, California. So we left that out.
Ricky.
Ricky with the good beers. Good to be back, guys.
And Ice Queen.
Hi, Ice Queen. Happy Sunday.
All right, so this is what I'm going to be sipping on, along with a couple others. I got Metaplex IPA Mosaic Hop Ninja. And who else is doing that one? Got
Monkey.
Monkey, Hoppy Bruja,
And I think Ice Queen.
Yes.
and Ice Cream. All right. And
Which one are we having today?
Gordy, go ahead and introduce it.
So I have the Shatter Spike from Unsung. It's a IPA Citra Mosaic Burst. So it's rocking in about, I don't know, does anybody see the ABV on this? Who has
7.2.
7.2. So we'll check them out, see how it's going to be.
All right.
So
Sip.
who has a Metaplex? Do you guys want to try it and see what you guys think of it before we chug it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say that's like more traditional West Coast IPA.
Nice.
It's,
It's nice and hoppy, definitely has that mosaic feel to it, like a little bit of grapefruit in there. A lot of grapefruit.
Nice.
I'm not a big Mosaic guy, but I could tell the beer was made right. Like it just comes out flavorful.
Yeah.
I like the mosaic. I can taste it. It's pretty hoppy.
I can taste that
The
grapefruit
color.
that Brewhop mentioned. I can definitely taste that.
It's definitely got that bitter bite to it, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's really
Classic.
yellow.
Yeah, I like that.
And honestly, I'm not a big
fun,
fan of post IPAs, but this definitely tastes a lot easier than some of the other ones I have. I like more hazies, and this one is definitely a lot more clear.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Traditional West Coast. That's
good, yeah.
the way to do it. West Coast.
No,
beers.
actually, I find that kind of interesting. Like his compared to mine, yours is a lot clearer. Look at that.
Is it the lighting?
Maybe it's the lighting.
Ricky, do you have one of the
It
same
could be.
beers?
No,
Yeah.
I got the other.
Yeah,
They look
Oh,
pretty-
no.
I'm doing the Shatter.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go on the Shatter. Let's see what we all think of it.
I get dank, little bitterness.
I like that. I like that little dank aftertaste on this one.
Again,
Yeah,
this is
that's
like a
dank.
traditional West Coast. It's
Yeah.
got the bitterness. It's hoppy. Finishes off dry. Starts off juicy. Finishes dry.
Pretty good malt balance.
Standard, good old fashioned West
Not
Coast.
not overly malty, but it's a good balance.
What do you think, Jaron?
It had a nice head to it. You can definitely smell all the flavors in it.
Is it wet approved?
It's very wet.
Soaking wet.
That's
All right.
that's
well,
not
All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get those chugs going. All right.
Get those glasses up.
You're in the center. You give us the countdown.
3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys. I like that.
That has got a nice bitterness to it. It's grassy, it's earthy. That's just the way a West Coast beer is. We don't get
Super
a lot
crisp.
of it on our end,
Yeah.
but
Super crisp and clean on my side. That's what
I
I'm
like-
tasting.
I like that citrus in there. It's fucking good.
and it's got a nice long lasting pine finish on the end.
Yeah,
And this bitterness just
Yeah.
sits on the palate for a while.
that reminds
So-
me of like when I first started drinking IPAs. That was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, go ahead, Cisco.
I was gonna say before we actually get into reviewing of the that beer in particular, I just want to give a shout out to Unsung with the awesome like comic book looking
Yeah.
fan
Yeah.
art. It's like
Yeah.
the detail that they really went into is it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty solid when they think about their labels. It's pretty cool. Super heroic and stuff.
I like how they have like a story for each one on the can. Like if you read it for each one, it's like a little story. I like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys have gone to their actual brewery, which I know a few of you have, those of you on the East Coast who haven't, it's pretty nice setup. They got like comic book stuff everywhere. The names are all set up right. The handles, they got little those funk pop little guys
Yeah.
everywhere. So that's a pretty cool setup.
Nice.
I think that was my first 16-ounce chug in a while. So I got that down easy. It
Well
was
done,
easy to chug.
All right. So
What
I
are
don't know
we
if-
gonna
if-
be
if-
doing next? Yeah, what's the next one that you guys wanna?
How about the cleaner Hellas,
The lager.
the lager?
Yeah.
all right, let's go with the lagers. Let's see where we go with that.
Siegfrieda?
Yeah, the Siegfrieda, which Siegfrieda has some history on this Church of Chug episodes.
That's some dope can art too.
The Nordic. I looked it up. It's a Nordic name. Meaning peaceful victory.
Clarissa, you're the only one out of everyone here that makes beer, right?
I think that there's a couple other ones who have dabbled.
I've made a couple of homebrews, but not
Okay.
not mash, not mash.
Yeah,
I've tried.
I played it. I played with it a couple years ago with the guys I used to live with. So, but nothing in the last maybe 3 years.
I think I'm gonna try this year.
It's to my understanding that making a lager is probably a lot more harder
Yes.
to make than just like an IPA, simply because that window of like checkoff boxes that have the identifying characteristics is harder to nail than an IPA because it's just loaded with hops and different variety of flavors, mouthfeels. So
So
I'm
it's
expecting it to
super
be a
easy
certain
to get,
style.
like, it's super easy to get DMS flavor into it because it's like such a clean beer. For those of you who don't know DMS, it's an off flavor that's created like by getting out of that danger temperature zone. So you got to cool it down fast. And so that's what, like, if you find the Pilsner or a lager, whatever that has that DMS, it's going to be super prominent. Even a little bit goes a long way.
Now the DMS, isn't that like the dimethyl something or other? What is that?
Oh, you know what? I don't even know the full name of it.
I think it's dimethyl acetate something. But I do know what you mean. It gives it that off like papery cardboard smell and
It's
taste.
like yeah, canned vegetables, creamed corn, kind of like super strong flavor and smell.
I didn't do a full pour because I know we're gonna drink something else. So
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I did.
But we lost Gordy too.
Hold on, let me pour it back in the can.
It smells really good.
It does.
Yeah, it's got that Hellas lager, that like kind of like tortilla chip, that bready doughiness to it.
It's a good
A
way.
little bit of lemon
put it.
citrus in it.
I think that's part of my issue with lagers. Like I've always felt that smell was just bland. You know, it doesn't.
That's-
It's not appealing to me. In other words, it's not the worst smell in the world, but just I feel like, yeah, it's very bland, doughy. Just
Um,
doesn't do
Yeah,
it.
they're
I'm
very
with-
one-dimensional. Like when it comes to like, if you're comparing it to like an IPA, they're very one-dimensional. It's just like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's doughy, it's bready, it's biscuity. There's not really, it's just those flavors are there. Just a little bit of citrus, be lemon citrus, if anything. But yeah, but this is actually pretty nice. It's got a creamy mouthfeel to it too.
What were you saying, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cisco. Like the lager smell, I don't really like too much, but when you drink it, it definitely tastes like you can taste it well. It's well made, and
Right.
for me, I really love the aftertaste after every sip of it. Let's see if I
Yeah, I'm
like
kind of getting like
aftertaste.
I'm getting kind of like a little bit of a caramel smell when I kind of smell it right off.
Oh, it's like what Al said. It's nice and creamy.
Hmm.
It does have a nice, you know, I would expect
then-
it mostly be crisper, but it's got a nice creamy mouthfeel on the end.
And then
I
the
like it
aftertaste.
actually. It's really nice.
I don't know about you guys, but I love the aftertaste of lagers. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It reminds me of like being at picnics and summer times and you know the aftertaste of it.
It reminds me when I used to get into a bar that when I was underage. That's all.
There
That's
you
all
go.
you drink
Me
is
too.
it's a Budweiser, you know? So,
That's why I'm
Budweiser.
not that, crazy about lagers and Helles and whatnot, because it's so often like my memories connected to the scent and the taste is all like, oh, I remember in high school when we'd sneak a beer or two, and I remember like in college and waking up with fucking a can next to me. Like that brings up those memories. It doesn't bring up like the oh, that's the delicious flavor beer. It's more just like shit. Yeah, that was some times.
But there's definitely a difference though between like a craft lager pilsner as to your like regular.
Definitely. Especially with the lager, you get
I will
that.
say that,
you
that's
get
for
that-
sure.
You get that good like. I always want to say you get that good like Munich taste, like a bready mouthful. You know, like and you definitely taste the difference in a craft lager than and mass produced lager.
That's what
I've tried to convert some people with stuff like this where they don't like the craft per se, like the IPAs and stuff, but I was like, look, this is craft beer, this is a craft lager, try it out.
that's
It's a good
where
way
I
to get
think.
people into it.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like craft lager, craft pilsner, that's a good way to get people into craft beer. It's like a good
Right.
stepping stone.
Yeah.
And I think that's, go ahead, Cisco.
I was gonna say one thing, going off like trying to get people into it. I think like where you guys were saying with the Helles and lagers and all that. One great thing that I've noticed when I try to give examples to people about why they should try craft, to me it's the difference between getting a burger at McDonald's or getting a burger at a mom and pop joint. They're all burgers, but mom and pop joints tend to have just that, the rich,
Love.
like
They-
love. You could tell.
Right.
people
With
in
love,
there.
man.
They put their foot in it.
Yeah, it's the
So
quality.
that's why I'm like,
Definitely.
there is a
I'm
difference.
definitely a mom and pop's burger place. I
Yes.
fucking love them.
And
So with this, I think breweries should have a lager on draft all the time for people that are not into IPAs. And I know it's a lot
Right.
harder to make, but I think people should try to really like push that just so
Also-
you can at least bring in some clientele.
But it's also harder to have it on draft, like especially at a smaller brewery, just because you do have to have that space available for 5 to 6 weeks to lager it. I mean, not
Right.
everybody has that. Can
Right,
accommodate.
because if I'm correct, I know a lager takes a lot longer than an IPA to make.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
like an IPA, you can like get that out in like 2 weeks, or like with Quebec, you can have it out in 4 days. But like for this one, you have to lager it, which is like a cold storage period for at least 5-6 weeks.
Oh wow.
It's colder temperatures, lower pressure, right? For lagering.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to have that like basically near freezing.
So that's when brewers are like, you could definitely know if it's a good brewery if they make a decent lager, because it takes forever and it's a very long process.
So it makes
Yeah, and
me wonder why, if the overhead, you're saying it takes 5 to 6 weeks. So that puts it, let's say in the business side, the overhead on that to store and to keep somewhere, that's incredibly expensive. I realize the materials are a lot cheaper, but why wouldn't they charge more for a lager then?
That's a really good question.
Because I know with IPAs, they're usually like, oh, all the materials and all the stuff that we put in costs so much, that's why we have to charge more. I understand that. But like you said, if you have to store it somewhere, most places that don't make anything, that just store something and sell it in return, they end up charging a lot more because they have to, think about the overhead and how long they're going to keep it there, which
It's
means
fun.
it should be expensive.
It should be a little more pricier, but lagers are actually cheaper than IPAs, and like they're probably like a $5 difference if you're looking for into a 4-pack.
'Cause I
So
mean,
they are
this is
cheaper.
it's the closest to like the Reinheitsgebot, because I mean, this goes back to Czech and Germany. So it's like you literally have just the 4 ingredients. So I mean, I don't know.
And that's kind of my point. Like I get the difference in ingredient prices, but literally to store it somewhere when most breweries are pretty small, that seems like you would want to charge more, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But don't you think the popularity of IPAs and the hype behind it constitutes this push of a price? I don't think they have to put that big fucking price on it. Not at all. If anything, they hype it up so much that people are clamoring to get online to buy their shares, and they're gonna charge you for that shit.
So
Nobody's
I'm-
running to the store to buy a lager.
Right.
Everybody wants to get
So
an IPA. You know.
since we're talking about prices, this weekend I'm not going to mention the brewery because don't think I should put them on blast, but I did pay $28 for a 4-pack, and I think that was a little bit fucking extreme.
Yeah.
Then why'd you buy it?
Huh?
Why'd you buy it then?
Because it was an IPA.
To my point.
Somebody,
See,
somebody asked me for it, so I had to like be buddies with them and shit. So
Yeah,
I got them for that person. But I was like, I think at that point they're being super greedy, you know?
yeah, no, listen, I understand. I've paid more than $25 for a 4-pack, and I've a lot of times regretted paying that after I've tasted it. It's like, this did not constitute the price, point. So it's kind of like a gamble sometimes, but I definitely think that the whole hype behind IPAs really pushes the price on these things.
I think it's plain and simply kind of like to your question, Al, like, are you willing to pay it? Well, then that's why they're charging that much.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's going to say, I'm going to buy this.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to sell it. By the way,
And-
anybody getting great lacing like me? Nice.
Yeah. It
And-
was.
And I think that kind of goes back to the discussion that we had about hype beers, is like you said, people are willing to buy it. So people go online and they gouge the hell out of people, spending
Right.
$15, $20 a can just
Yeah.
because of the hype behind it. The 450s and stuff like that, and Monkish that people are selling online, they're ridiculous. That hype.
Somebody said the name of the brewery.
Look, listen, we're not being like sponsored by anybody, so don't be
Right.
worried about like,
Yeah,
saying,
not at all. Because I know
We're not
I
sponsored
know
yet.
I know a lot of
So
people
many
pulled.
good,
Even if
like
we're
smaller
sponsored,
breweries.
I'm gonna go with
yeah.
honesty and talk shit on a brewery if they're bad.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
I
sponsor
just remind myself when I see those prices that there's so many smaller breweries that are just as good. So
Oh, yeah.
they don't get exposure either.
Right,
Yeah, and that's
like
what-
Unsung. Unsung is
Yes.
like super low, and they're really fucking good. And people don't realize it. Sure, in Anaheim, they're really down the street, like in the middle of like Bottle Logic, Green Cheek, and down the street now it's Modern Times. But I think Unsung goes kind of like foreseen. They're really good. And
Yeah.
people just don't go there because they don't have the popularity as other named bigger breweries, and kind of sucks because. Hey, but like, for us it's good because we get to try them out and we're like, hey, these are solid beers.
You don't have to wait in line to get them.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's kind of, we've talked about it too, is that's something that kind of worried me about trading, is that I don't have the hyped up West Coast breweries that you guys have, the Pure, the Modern Times, stuff like that. A lot of mine are kind of local breweries like Calvert Brewing and stuff like that. And I love their beers. Like
Those are usually the ones that are good. Like,
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I've never had a bad beer from Kushwa. I've never had a bad beer from Kushwa ever.
they're great too.
I think
So
it
it's
comes
just
to-
worried because they weren't hyped up, and it's like I'm like, well, I like this. I just hope they like it because they're giving me something solid that I can't get. That's super hyped, but this is what I'm giving them. I hope they
Well,
like it.
that goes back to like the mom and pop shop whole ordeals. Like, they don't hype it up, but if you go there, you know the shit's gonna be fire.
Yeah,
So,
and also
I think that's the same with breweries, like especially the smaller breweries.
Yeah,
You
they
go
take
eat
care
where
of
the locals eat, man.
exactly. The
That's
smaller
what-
breweries will always take care of you. They always make you feel at home. That's always a plus
Exactly.
with
I love that.
you know?
That's the best part of doing like a podcast and doing your Instagram page is that you can use it to let other people know, hey, this is really good. And
Mhm.
We also
Right.
have like the mom
$8 for a 4-pack,
like the small breweries that are hype breweries, which is really weird.
Right.
If you think about it.
Right?
Now wait, where do the gypsy brewers
You're cutting out.
fall?
Gypsers are awesome. Yeah, I think they are sort of a mix of hype.
They
though.
are,
I mean,
but
if
like
I'm
some of
being
them
honest.
back it up like Root and Branch. I don't know if any of you guys ever had Root and Branch.
Yes, definitely.
They're probably one of the best damn fucking beers, and they're gypsies. They don't have a brewery. They outsource it to I forgot what
Gypsy beer?
Yeah,
Gypsy
they don't
brewery?
have a brewery. They don't have a brewery. No, they have some.
I think, Kraft, what J Hump, you might have been a little bit confused on what a gypsy brewery is.
Yeah, what is it?
So as far as I know, and the rest of you can clarify, it's just a brewery that doesn't happen to have its own physical location. So they'll go to like a more established brewery and be like, hey, can I make this beer here, and basically rent out your equipment and whatnot, but it's my own recipe. So all
Oh, okay.
distribute that
Yeah,
Oh,
type
yeah.
of-
Of Gypsy, okay.
Right.
I think you might like
The
know
license to
one
make
of them, like
beer.
Beer Thug Life. You've
Yes.
had that before, right?
Yeah.
Dana? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a gypsy brewer. So.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It doesn't say anything about the quality of their beer by any means. It's more just, they don't have their own place yet, more than likely.
But that makes me think, when they have their own place, will it change?
A
Yeah,
good lager.
They've been conformed to having their beer made by somebody else, and once they make it, like what if they change locations? What if they're starting their brewery in another state? Water is going to change the flavor of their beer all day, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think they're definitely making it to the market though where they want to be. So it's like Beer Thug Life. I mean, he's out here in SoCal. He's definitely going to be out here somewhere if he chooses to open up a brewery. But he's definitely going to keep like pounding out those awesome beers just because he is the one coming up with the recipe, coming up with like how it's going to be made.
Who is this one, Clarissa? You guys froze out for a while, so I missed a little bit of something.
Oh, Beer Thug Life.
Hmm.
And
He-
one
You
of
know
the-
what? I know what that is. I've heard of that.
Yeah, I
it's
think
very
you've had a couple of them. I think Gordy sent you one a couple times.
If I haven't
Could be.
seen some, I'll send you one. But Beer Thug Life, what's great about the way he's making it and all this stuff is he's very conscious, in my opinion, about what he makes and who he collaborates with and where he makes his beer. It's very like, these are my friends, these are people I trust. This is who I'm going to make beer with. These, and he's actually ran into this canner. I won't say who it is. That they had a conflict of interest as far as political beliefs. And he was like, let's keep politics out of this. And I guess the person threw it kind of in his face. And he's like, we're done. We're not dealing with you ever. And like I said, that's kind of one of the cool things about being a gypsy brewer, I would think, is that you're just like, cut, I'm done with you. I don't have to deal with you anymore. Let's focus on what I need to and want to deal with, just making good beer, you know?
Sounds like that's another topic we should talk in the future. But
Yeah.
let's
I
get
was
back
gonna
to
say, let's get back onto
go
the
back
unsung.
to unsung. We got a ringtone. It's
This
a
is,
hazy
I'm excited
double
about this
IPA.
one because there's a lot
Me
of hops
too.
in this.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
I was reading you have Azeka, Citra, El Dorado, Enigma, and
Ooh.
Galaxy. I'm expecting there to be a big orange push on this one with the
And
Azeka
Idaho 7 as well.
and the Galaxy.
El Dorado is my favorite hop, so
I
I'm
love
already excited.
El Dorado is one of mine as well, but you know, it's kind of funny depending on what they pair it up with. You either get that pear or that watermelon flavor that comes through with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Karen.
I am kind
Yeah.
of going into this one just because it does have that citra.
What's up, Gordon?
So far,
You're
I'm
my
digging
favorite
Unsung. This is the
Yeah.
first time I'm having Unsung, and so far I'm
So,
digging it.
so actually, when I was talking to Taryn, because actually Taryn's the one that was like, "Hey, I want you could review our beers," and I was trying to push Thor mode because Thor mode's probably been my best one I've had from them, but you know, shit happens. So maybe in the future we'll get some Thor mode and we'll all review it. So that's
Oh my God, that smells so good.
So
Yeah,
it's
it does.
It does have a really nice odor. It really
I'm
does.
canning it. It's
This
good.
dude.
is why I
digging this.
prefer IPAs. Jesus.
Yeah, this is definitely a good fucking hazy IPA if you're just
And
hanging
it's
out.
translucent. It's not like, you know, it's not really conforming to that West Coast because it's a little
Right.
hazy, but you know, no big deal on that one. Wheat
Also-
straw, yellow color.
You know, I
it's
find it kind of interesting though that this one is pretty much like the same clarity as the West Coast.
Yes.
yeah.
You see that a
Which-
lot with the breweries out here. I noticed that a lot of times they'll say this is hazy, but it's hazy is different from New England hazy. So there is a difference between the two, you know.
This is very true. There is a huge difference between the New England and West Coast IPAs and hazies as well. Just like you
Mhm.
said. But I'm really digging this. This is really
Yeah,
clean. I
it
get a
tastes
nice
good.
little piney. I get kind of like a little bit of a piney finish at the end. Does anybody else taste
it
that?
at all yet.
Is that the
Does
ringtone?
anybody else smell
It's
pineapple
ringtone.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
ringtone.
look, craft wetness, your ringtone is clear as fuck, man. Did you give your can? See, the thing is, I don't know if anyone knows, I tend to turn my can upside down and I always give
I
it a
do too.
twist
I
to
do
make
too.
sure that I agitate, but not everybody does that because they don't like the
Okay.
floaties.
Right.
So
Right.
people just
I
don't
would
like
do
Yeah,
it
like
too.
especially if it's a lot of different hops, you always want to just give it a quick roll or
I
Or
tend
just
to
to-
roll my
yeah.
cans
I learned
first just to
something
get
new
everything.
today.
So when we were talking, I literally flipped my can upside down for like at least like
Yeah, I
2 to
did
3
too.
minutes, and then I fucking flipped it over. So
I
I'm
do
just
taste
trying to
pineapple.
get all the flavors.
There
in.
is a
Yes.
good amount of orange, a good amount of peach and pineapple in this. There's a lot of great
Yeah.
flavor to this, but mostly that Azeka usually takes the hold on things, and there is a good amount of navel orange that punches through. It's really tasty. It's juicy. It's not dry. This
Solid.
isn't like this is not like what I expect from a West Coast IPA at all.
No.
It's juicy. It's not like it's slightly resinous, but it's not dry.
So I want to say their Nublia IPA
It's wet.
series is like really fucking good. And I think a Thormo, like I was telling earlier, was actually part of that series, and it's just fucking solid. I love what they're
Sorry,
doing
Right
with it.
now?
Sorry, Gordy, go ahead.
No, I
I
was
just
saying
had
that
beer come out of my nose because freaking craft wetness was like dry. Go ahead, do your thing.
no, I was saying that their Nublia series is pretty good. You know, I haven't been let down, and like I was saying, Thermal earlier was super solid, and I really like what they're doing. They have improved so much in the last 2 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of my friend because he's like the head brewer now.
Gordy,
So
do you
how
know
old
what
are
do you
they?
know about this Nebuloid series? Do you know what it's about?
No, I
He
don't.
said
No, I don't. So
gotta figure that out.
Nebula. It's space stuff. I like
Yeah,
it.
reading the can sounds about
So-
stars. So this one,
About stars
I
and
looked
shit.
up what
Vega.
I looked up what a nebuloid is, by the
Nebuloid
way.
IPA series. Also, 8.5. That's always the sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect.
it's
That is a
perfect, but if,
Right? Yeah, because if you drink 3 or 4 of those, it's just perfect.
yeah, but if you chug 3 of them like I did on Sunday last week, you're hurting. But
You know,
yeah,
listen.
8.5 is pretty solid.
that afternoon I did 4 chugs in 40 minutes. That was the last time I did any chugs for the rest of the fucking
Ugh.
week, man. I
Ugh.
woke up at 2:30 in the friggin' morning.
I'm
Like,
so
what
glad
the
that
fuck
shit is
happened?
over.
I always
Man.
wake up naked in my fucking couch. Like, whatever
Yes.
happened, I don't know what happens. Every time. My socks are
Always
on.
a good
I don't know why I don't take those off. But this is
So-
actually very good. I do like this one a lot.
So we only have
Let's
a
go.
few minutes
Let's
left.
go.
We only have a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and go through the circle and everybody just give your review of both the Helix and the ringtone. Try to sum it up in, I don't know, 30 seconds or so or less. And we'll just go from there. We want to give a shout out to this awesome brewery where we got a couple beers from. So
Yeah, technically it's our first brewery that we got
Yeah.
to
Yes.
actually
Well-
all try.
big shout out. Drunk Monkey, go for it.
So the Siegfrieda, the Helles Lager. I also have a lot of I have some memories of the smell and of the taste of drinking like old beers, like trying to steal beers when I was younger and stuff like that. But this is super smooth. Like I really don't like lagers that much. This is really, really good. I could definitely drink this. The ringtone is a solid hazy IPA. I definitely taste the pineapple, and it's for an 8.5. This is hella smooth. This tastes like a 6 or something like that. Like I can chug the hell out of this.
Chug the hell out of anything.
So me personally,
Yeah, no, really. Yeah. Kool-Aid.
the Hellas I thought was great. Like I said, that analogy before, it's a mom and pop type burger. So you could get the quality, and as Al said, the love is there. I thought that was great. As far as like out of 10, I would give it a 8, but I'm not a Hellas person, so that's like a 10 for most people. So if you like those type of beers, by all means, it's fucking solid. The ringtone, I really liked. The flavor was amazing. The taste is super solid. My critique negatively would be don't call it a hazy unless it's hazy. And to me, that's just not filtered. That's the only thing. Flavor's great. The smell is great. Like I said, just the name, it irks me, but that's me. Al?
What if it's like a hazy?
It does taste like a hazy.
Al, go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Me?
Yes.
All right,
I
as far
want
as the-
Al's.
30
As far as
seconds.
the Helles Lager goes, this is an absolute traditional style of Helles Lager. It's bright, it's crisp, it's doughy, it's bready. The mouthfeel is great, especially with the creaminess to it. I will argue with Cisco about this. This is slightly hazy, not like what you would expect from a New England style, because we get that cloudy opaqueness, but this is fruity, it's juicy, it has a little bit of haze. It's not like the traditional style of West Coast IPAs that I'm used to having, which is not to say that it's bad, but it is a good tasting beer. I will say that about the ringtone.
J-Hump?
Okay, so the lager, great can art, by the way.
Yes.
This is really good. Goes down smooth. I love the creamy feel when you take your first sip of it. So good. And then the aftertaste. I love the aftertaste of it. The ringtone, it's a hazy 8.5, very smooth. You can definitely taste all the hops. It's just so good. Like it's perfect.
It's wet.
Damn right.
It's very wet.
Whoa.
Bruja?
Good job, Unsung.
All right, so the Hellas, it was super clear. It was like the perfect lager. I would not give it a 10, but I would give it like an 8.5 maybe. Had that breadiness to it. It was super effervescent. So I would definitely enjoy that at a picnic or the beach kind of thing. Ringtone, it was like a fruit salad, at least to me. Like I could smell all the fruits immediately.
Yes.
I will argue though, either we can coin the term West Coast hazy or I'm gonna say this isn't hazy. Like if it's not clear, it's hazy.
Right. Oh. I know, but I know it's Cisco man. I know it's Cisco. I understand
I've
completely
got
what
it
you meant.
spoiled with
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Coast, you know, that's the thing.
I know what you. I know 100%
Ricky?
what you meant, brother.
All right, so Siegfrieda, right? Hell's Lager, mild, sweet, bready, definitely a peaceful victory. I like this. I'm gonna give this 8.5 out of 10, definitely. The ringtone. I'm gonna agree with Bruja and say that it's a freaking fruit salad. It's delicious. I love it. All the hop combinations work really well. Nice and piney. I'm surprised that it's marked that it's labeled as a 35 IBUs because you definitely get that pininess and that resinous. Loved it. I'm gonna agree with some of you guys like around an 8 out of 10.
I didn't know that was 35 IBUs. I thought it was way higher. I definitely get that hop bite.
Ice Queen?
Yeah.
Siegfrieda, we all know I already liked this. Nobody noticed that I do taste smokiness with this. And I don't drink a lot of lagers, but I will when I'm trying to keep it low. You know, if I know I have to, you know, be sane. This is really good. And I really could drink this on a Saturday, picnics, things like that. We already talked about that. The ringtone word, I like it a lot. So, fruity, yes, the pineapple right off the bat, but like you said, like the hazy, the whole thing, but I don't care. I'm from New York, living in California. Meet me halfway. Here we go.
Last but not least, Gordy.
I like that.
So this was fucking awesome, the House Lager. I fucking loved it. This is definitely an easy drinking beer all day long, and there's nothing wrong with it. I really love the caramel smell, the doughy flavor that we were talking about. So like 8.5 to 9. I'm gonna say a 9 because it's fucking hard to make a lager. So I'm gonna fucking push it on that. And the ringtone, fucking solid. Sure, it does not look super hazy. I will say it's more like a West Coast IPA, in my opinion. And it was fucking true in color and everything. Love the piney taste at the end. That's what got me into IPAs in the beginning. So we're good.
Drunk Monkey, really quick, and then we got to end.
I just wanted to say that Siegfrieda did win an award in I think it was in San Diego for this. So phenomenal beer.
With that being said, we are wrapping up. Next week, we're going to review some Tribus beers.
And we'll have him with us, actually.
Yeah, we'll have the brewer
Is
with
that
us.
from Connecticut?
Yes, it is.